One. I'm here with Danny, and this is Soapcast Episode 3. We're talking about the NBA Finals. Game 7, Pacers, Thunder. Who's going to win it all? We haven't had a Game 7 since 2016. And we all know what happened in 2016. Underdog team went home with the win. So, could we see another underdog story this year, Danny?
Who the hell's the underdog? I don't even know who the underdog would be. I feel like they're both evenly matched.
You think the Pacers and the Thunder are evenly matched? I feel like
I
they're an
don't even
underdog
think there's an
because
underdog.
everybody, I mean, you're probably right, but everybody going into this series thought it was a guaranteed Thunder in 5, Thunder in 6, maybe.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah,
And
I
that's
did.
something to think
But
about.
the Taliban sacrificed 37 children in Gary, Indiana, so you know,
Gary,
he's working
Indiana.
his black magic.
Holy. But what do you think? What do you think of some of these Tyrese Halliburton performances? Some have been really good, but some have been, I don't know.
Bro, so for my betting, I have to stop betting on the Taliban. Freaking, he'll either score 30 or go to 4 points.
4 points. We've
Like-
seen that. We've seen that plenty this playoffs.
Yeah. Like, never bet on him.
Yeah,
For years,
he's
I've been
a
telling
very
you
unpredictable
that-
player, and I do feel it silly that people are like, "Oh, Halliburton's a top 10 player in the league." You cannot be that
No,
inconsistent and be a top 10 player in the league.
Yeah.
But I do think,
I feel like he's barely number one on his team.
yeah, Pascal Siakam has been putting up crazy numbers this like postseason. It's hard to argue that, you know, who's going to win that Finals MVP come, you know, Pacers win. Like, it could be Pascal
I feel
Siakam
like-
if he has a good performance tonight.
Yes. And also, I feel like Miles Turner has been doing a bit more, like a similar amount as Tyrese.
You think so? I do not
Miles
believe that.
Turner. I do.
Miles Turner's been, I actually do like Miles Turner. I think he's one of the better centers in the league. But he's not putting up outrageous numbers. This is a very big power friendship team, obviously. Like, this team
Let's.
isn't getting anywhere without one of its pieces, because any player on this Pacers team can show up any night. We've seen Benedict Mathurin come in with 25 points. Benedict Mathurin. Obi Toppin comes in with 20 points in literally the last game. You wouldn't expect that from Obi Toppin in a game 6 or game 5 of the NBA Finals. Even players like Ben Shepherd are they're taking a step up from what they normally do in the regular season, and they're becoming these great role players. People you just wouldn't expect.
No. Bro, speaking of Ben Shepherd, I forgot he was even on the team. I don't even.
Where was he before?
Oh no, he was on the team always, but I just
okay.
didn't remember him.
Do you know when he got drafted?
At first,
26?
to 26 overall, 2023.
Okay. I wouldn't be able to remember that.
Thank you.
Great looks on the court. I've just been liking a lot as a backup point guard, a second string point guard for this Indiana team. TJ McConnell. Can we give it up?
No, bro, he's been so good. If you bet on him, he's so good.
And
He's a player you'd always.
how many steals did he
on a
get?
fantasy
How many steals did he get the other night?
Game 6 with 4 steals.
Game 6 with 4 steals. It doesn't get any better than that, dude. It's all those inbound passes, all of those all of these seemingly easy transition looks that he's completely deflecting, and it just adds this extra momentum for this Pacers team that they've been utilizing well. They've been utilizing very well. And how many points is McConnell putting up a night? 9 something? I feel like McConnell is a guy who could start on a lot of teams. It's not crazy to say that.
It's not.
It is not crazy to say that because he's a veteran too. A lot of people want that veteran presence on their team. So tell me a little bit about your sports betting. How's that been going? Tell me a few bets that you've placed. Have you made any money this playoffs?
Made a couple hundred off these
Couple
playoffs.
hundred. Off this playoff? Is that true?
Yeah, off the whole playoffs. Yes.
What are some of the best bets you've placed in one?
Some of the best ones. Let's see here. This is my absolute best one. It was Tyrese over 15 and Jalen Williams over 25, and I put 100 on it, and it was a 5x payout.
Oof.
I mean, I've lost the majority of the money ever since, but still.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people who do, gambling and stuff don't include, is that they lose the majority, like a lot of their money that they put in. So I want to make it clear that this Soapcast is not sponsored by any gambling website. Gambling's bad, and you shouldn't do it unless you got a ton, and I mean like a metric ton of money.
Well, I make good money off it.
Yeah, true. I do like sports betting a little bit more, just because I do think it takes some more skill than, like, slots, obviously. Because you do need to have some amount of knowledge. Like, if you see someone like, oh, Gilgeous-Alexander 25 plus tonight, like, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
That's
They
reasonable.
don't have that. It's always been 35 and above.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen one. It was, I think it was Game 2 or Game 3, I saw one for like an over 25, and I was like, what? That is way too low. And a lot of times you can take the over on these. They just look really
Here's
appealing.
a bad bet. Well, here was a good bet at the time that I thought was guaranteed hit. It was first game of the finals. Chet Holmgren over 11.5.
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam over 5. Tyrese over 6.5.
Yeah, and I thought so too.
And then, yeah, Pascal Siakam got 10 boards, and then Tyrese got 6 assists, which is unfortunate. One away.
Chet has not been playing as consistently as you want him to this finals.
Yeah.
This is a young team, and if they don't win this year, they're just going to be back next year.
Yeah.
It's such a young team. Second youngest in finals history. Right behind the Clyde Drexler Portland Trailblazers in the 70s.
Gang, I do not know them. Well, I know who Clyde Drexler is. I just don't know that team.
Legendary Trailblazer. One could say he's probably the best Blazer in history. Don't think it's crazy to say that.
Yeah, no. Here's another bet that I wish I did a flex play instead of a power play. It was Chet Holmgren over 7.5 2-pointers. That hit. He got 8. Pascal Siakam over 19 points. He hit 20. That was really good. And then TJ McCollum. I just needed him to throw 1 3-pointer. Didn't the whole game. This was for game 5.
That's ridiculous, because that's TJ McConnell you're talking about, point guard.
Yeah,
he knows how to shoot
at
too.
least like 2. Yeah.
And that has to be disappointing. But you know what? Let's talk about something. Were you keeping up on that Knicks Pacers series at all in the Eastern Conference Finals?
I bet so much on that one. I actually made them.
Here's something I found very interesting. Siakam wins that Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and it was deserved. He was putting up amazing numbers every night. I think in the first 2 minutes, or the first 3 minutes, he put up 8 points on one of those games versus the Knicks. And that's just, like, he is such a ridiculous scorer, especially from, like, the mid-range. But I gotta say something. I think he hasn't shown up as much in this final series as he did in the Knicks series. I think we've seen more from Siakam, and I think in this final series, it's hard to ask him for more because he's playing at such a high level, but you might want to see a little bit more, because I do feel like there was a drop-off in the way he was playing, the stats he was putting up.
There was. He's no longer as consistent.
That's true.
That's not crazy to say.
It's not crazy to say. And Tyrese Halliburton is obviously the issue as well. I mean, you can't put
He's
up
so
more.
inconsistent.
He's supposed to be the best player, the first option on that team. You cannot put up 4 points when you're the first option. You can't do it. But obviously he's
And
had
you can't be
games where
putting
he's played like basketball god, putting up stat lines that like you've never seen before. Like what, like 15 assists, 30 points, 12 boards, and 0 turnovers.
Yeah, but this finals, I don't know, because his assists have not been there.
And I'm sure those turnovers have been racking up too. And you don't want turnovers as a point guard. I mean, that's just one way to, I don't know. The Pacers are going to stick with Halliburton for a long time, I think, because he's progressing very fast, and he's still young.
Yeah. Versus the Thunder, I don't think he's gotten over like 10 assists once.
Really, I don't know about that. I'll have to check. Do you know how old is Tyrese Halliburton?
Tyrese, I think he's like 25.
25.
Somewhere around there.
I think he's 25. Yeah. And a lot of basketball players hit their peak around what, 27? It's fair to say.
27. Yeah.
Like, you can still see a lot of growth from a guy like Tyrese Halliburton, who's, I think, inarguably 15th, at least, best player in the league. 15th to 13th, like, kind of range.
Currently, yeah.
I think he's a top 15 guy, even if he's the 15th best player.
Well, hold on, let me think. We got the obviouses above him. Definitely not in the top 10. Way out of there. I feel like there's a drastic skill drop off from the top 10 to Tyrese.
I don't know. I mean, for like, when I think, I do feel like some of these guards in the NBA right now, they're very skilled, but I think if you put them in an environment where, like, if they were playing on that Thunder team, they wouldn't be scoring as much. Because, think about it. Shea's putting up about 33 a night.
Yeah.
You put a guy like Trae Young in that situation, who, don't get me wrong, scores a lot. He's a scorer. He's not gonna do as well as he does on this Hawks team. This Hawks team that he's playing on, it's a great defensive team, but Trae's one of the only guys that can shoot the three ball really well. So I think it needs to be stated that it is very impressive what Shea is doing on a team full of scorers. It is hard to score 33 a night no matter who you are, but especially if your teammates are Jalen Williams and you have people who can explode on some nights like Chet Holmgren, the other Jalen Williams, Alex Caruso shows up some nights, Lou Dort, Cason Wallace. All of these guys know how to score. This team would still be so good without Shea.
It'd be good, but it wouldn't be.
Don't get me wrong. It wouldn't be a chip kind of team. It wouldn't be a contender for the championship. But this is a playoff team without Shea.
Yeah. But it wouldn't go that far. Maybe get to round 2 if they're lucky.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. Shea has shown up really big some of these nights. 40 bombs just all over the place.
I also do feel like Jokic got robbed of that MVP. Jokic deserved MVP over Shea.
It's not crazy to say that at all. Especially when he was leading in most of the statistical categories, and
he was second in like every category except for points, which he was third. He was top 3 in every category. Points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah, and he was averaging more assists, more rebounds than Shea. He was averaging either more blocks or more steals. I think he may have been averaging more steals.
More steals. Yeah.
Now, how does a center average more steals than a lightning quick guard? Like, that shouldn't be happening, I don't feel like.
Jokic was facilitating his team. If Jokic had the Thunder as his team, he would have, without Shea, play Shea with Jokic, the Thunder would have won the chip within 3 games. You don't even need a 4th.
Within 3 games.
Just give it to them.
Nuggets in 3.
They wouldn't even give it to them. They would have destroyed them 200-0.
They would have turned off the scoreboard like halfway through the game, so they don't have to be embarrassed anymore.
The Taliban wouldn't be able to sacrifice any more babies. Gary, Indiana. They run out of people in Indiana.
Is this a real thing? Is this real?
Yes, the Taliban sacrifices babies for black magic. That's why he's been doing what he's been doing.
Yeah. No one expected
That's
that
why
to come
the
this
one
far.
game.
I'll admit it, I'm
That's
kind of a
why-
bandwagon. I've been a Pacers fan since their series with the Bucks. I switched up. I really did.
Bro, can't believe you. Been to Cleveland since day one. Haven't switched from Cleveland, and you decide you're gonna switch.
Cleveland's
teams.
trash. I'm just gonna say it. I'm tired of Donovan Mitchell not making it out of the second round in the playoffs, like fucking almost 10 years in a row.
Bro, you can't even blame him. Look at his teammates.
I think you can blame him.
I don't
Look at his teammates. He's playing with Darius Garland. He's playing with Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen. These are like stars. He's playing with stars.
Jared Allen's contentious.
Jarrett Allen is one of the best centers in the league. Maybe, and if you're not ready to have that talk, then you're just not grown up yet. You haven't grown up.
I don't know about.
He ain't no
that.
Nick Claxton. This is Jarrett Allen we're talking about.
I'd maybe put him top 16. He's better than like half the centers, maybe.
Ugh, come on. What are you talking about? Can you name 15 centers better than Jarrett Allen? You can't do it. You can't do it. What, are you trying to tell me Jaden Ivey's better than Jarrett Allen?
I'm not saying all that. I'm not saying all that, but I'm just saying.
Listen,
if he had the same
Danny.
he would have brought them.
Jarrett Allen was averaging
I'm just
14 and 10. He was averaging a double-double. That's impressive. He's
would have done better.
he had the best field goal percentage in the league. He had the best field goal percent in the league. He had a 70%, I think. You probably know the exact number. What was it?
70.6.
But yeah, they need a better backup center because Tristan Thompson, that's not cutting it anymore.
Yeah.
He's 34. He's 34 years old. It's not working anymore. When he was in that series with the Pacers, I was really, really underwhelmed. Like, ridiculously underwhelmed by Jarrett Allen. Let me read off some stats to you. He put up 12 and 5, which isn't bad, but I want more boards. Then he put up 22 and 12, and that was, that's what I like to see. But 4 turnovers, 3 assists, no, not so much. Then he put up 19 and 12. That was great. And in game 4, or was that game 4? That was game 4. He put up 2 points and 2 rebounds.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton game. This dude had 2 turnovers and 1 assist that game. And then in the final game, in a game 5, he had 9 points and 4 boards. Do more, Jarrett Allen. Do more. But he is one of the better centers in the league, and I'll stand by that. I'll stand by it. This Cavaliers team is very well structured. They're not going to ever make it to the conference finals, probably, but they're very well structured. And, yeah, I mean, they might just be regular season merchants, I'm not going to lie.
If that.
Oh, whoa. I mean, don't lie to ourselves. They were great in the regular season. They were the number 1 seed. They went on like a 16-game win streak at the start.
That is true. But everyone knew they were frauds. So.
Not everyone. Some people were fooled, completely fooled. Some people were.
Who?
God, plenty of YouTubers, other people who tune in to basketball were fooled at the start of the season, and they thought the Cavaliers were going to be contender this year. And now everybody's acting like, oh, I knew it. But, people didn't know. People didn't know they weren't going to be great in the postseason. Even though, again, you can look at Donovan Mitchell's playoff record, and it's not great. What are some of the, where did he get in the playoffs again? Tell me some of these years. Tell me, how has he done in the playoffs every year? Tell me some of these years.
He has played a total of 63 playoff games. His record is 23-35. He is buns.
23-35. That's not what you want to see, especially from a guy like D. Mitchell. Don't get me wrong, he hasn't played for great teams historically. He played a long time on that Jazz team, but not quite it. He can rack up points. He can get stats.
He was the first person to bring the Cavaliers to the playoffs without LeBron since 1998.
Ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Yeah. I think Pacers won the whole finals.
I think so too.
It's not crazy to say. Would have been crazy to say at the beginning of the finals, but Pacers won the whole thing.
Yeah, especially with everybody, saying Thunder in 5, but Pacers have done the unthinkable. So, who knows what they're going to do. I think they have a lot of team morale guys too, like guys like James Johnson, who are just there. They don't really play. They don't get minutes, but it feels good to have them on the team. A lot of these guys. Good veteran presence too. I mean,
I thought you need to be 10 years in the league to be counted as a veteran.
James Johnson has been there a long time. He's been in there more than 10 years, I think. Yeah, James Johnson is 38 years old.
Damn.
He's been in the league since 2009, so he has 16 years in the league. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I think we've talked about just about everything there is to talk about. If the OKC Thunder win this series, I won't be surprised. But I think we can see a Pacers victory tonight. I think it's very possible.
Yeah.
But we do know, no matter what, Thunder will be back next year. Pacers not so much. They're getting old. So.
Pacers won't make playoffs next season.
Who knows? Who knows? If Rick Carlisle moves, Miles, they might make some moves in the offseason. They might start retooling after this year if they don't make it. So. All right. Well, I think that's it.
And look in general.